Welcome back to the channel, guys and girls. We are driving to the eastern side of New Hampshire to go fly fishing for trout. Now, it's not fly fishing only waters. Let me be true about that. I could bring spinning gear, but I prefer to fly fish. And I'm probably going to be doing some tight line style Euro nymphing, whatever you want to call it today. Maybe some nymphing with an indicator. We'll see how the flows are today. I don't think they're up because we haven't gotten any rain. So if it's going to be slower water, I'll probably switch over to that. This video is brought to you by Postfly. They're a great supporter of the channel. You know what to do. Link is in the description below. Use BIDNA 10 to get $10 off. All right, we have arrived, guys. Whew, I'm out of breath already. I don't do a lot of hiking. You guys didn't know. So, where I am, there's the head pool, and then there's a long stretch of like okay-ish water, and then there's another pool below. And what happens is everybody wakes up, parks at the head pool, and stays there forever, especially after they just stock. So what I'm doing, part of the success most of the time, not all the time, is get away from those crowds as much as you can. Walk downstream or upstream where you can't see anybody else and try there. Sometimes there's fish there, sometimes there's not. So that's what we're doing. We're walking downstream to a different spot where I've caught fish before. So let's go. So you guys guessed it, I'm gonna change to a white woolly bugger, one that Postfly sent me. I have so many flies on my patch right now, it's kind of ridiculous. I was having some issues with some browns the other day, but this looks good. This is kind of like a marabou. It's a little long, I might trim it up, but I'm gonna do my just a normal clinch knot on there. And right now I have 3X on, I think. I'm hoping there's nobody else down here at all. But we'll see. Make sure that knot cinches up. Make sure you wet the knot. Clip your tag. Let's go. You know, I never like really fish right here. So let's try right here. Out. On down. And if there's any hungry fish in there, it will smack that woolly bugger right away. Usually. And we got someone cutting in front of me here, which is always good. Oh, I'm on. Oh, I'm off. I knew there was fish right in here. That was a good ball. Oh, there's fish right there. There's fish right there. I just saw a brook trout. Kind of flipping this wherever I can reach to. But I've spooked him here before. I might have to put on a nymph and kind of drag it through there. See if there's any fish in these runs down here while I got the woolly bugger on. Or like a woolly bugger variant, basically. That little seam over there looks really good. I don't know if I can get down there. Oh, this is pretty shallow. Any of these little back eddies you want to check too. With streamers, I like to fish downstream. It's just a little easier. Sometimes I'll fish upstream if I know the stream. If I know where all the lies are. Yeah, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. It's a little shallow over there. Cast over there anyways. Well, sorry guys, but apparently my GoPro was not running. But I'm not really sure why. But there's the first rainbow of the day. In this small little spot right here. That fish choked it. Let's see if there's another one in there. There's one there's usually more, but I'm hoping I didn't spook all those other fish. With that fish, I tried to get him to go upstream as much as I could. I know you guys weren't on camera for that. But he came up behind it and swallowed it whole, like, you know, just enough where he wasn't damaged by eating it too much. But I might tie flies like this eventually. This is really easy to tie, looks like. But this is a post fly, woolly bugger. Get the exact name, but it's not a woolly bugger. And I might go try that run again where I had those fish. Just kind of swinging that down there, seeing if there's anybody around. And even just swinging it like this, you don't need to move it a whole ton. It's just one of those flies that always works for stock trout. I've been to places where I've seen people like nymph for hours, and I go down there with a woolly bugger. And this wants to meet, but that's the fly. That's the fly, barbless, and I like the hook. It's a nice beefy, stout hook. Probably a tungsten head, just white and a little bit of flash. But see this light colored stuff over here that looks a little bit deeper? I'm gonna throw my fly in there, right in front of that tree lie right there. It's not a full sweeper, it's just off to the side, which is fine. Sweepers are really good, but they don't always last in rivers like this. People move them out of the way and stuff. So sweepers where a tree is out in the stream completely, like perpendicular to the stream. You must use your very, very good lie right behind it. So what I'm doing is I'm basically mopping the stream back and forth here with the woolly bugger, or whatever fly this is called. To see if there's any fish in the area. Now they won't always bite it, but they'll at least chase it and tell you where they are, which is key. And I'm gonna stand off to the side where I was before. A lot of these fish are fresh hatchery fish, so they notoriously do not want to be in full current or even close to full current. They're pretty lazy, if you want to call them that, lazier than a normal fish that's been in the river for a while or a fish that's wild. So you want to fish slower spots than you think they would be in. I do not think they'll be in anywhere in these fast riffles here. It's early morning, there's no reason for them to be in there. They don't like I said, they don't really like that faster water because they're not that they're lazy, they just don't have the ability to do that yet. They don't have the muscles. So this is just my opinion of fishing for stock trout. Now this whole pool thing looks really, really good. So I'm gonna cast down there and strip up on the seam right here. So I have a light seam between bubbles and some slower water on that back eddy. And I'll see if anything's in there. I can't tell how deep it is in front of me. But I'm hoping there's some in this corner pool down here. Let's try to make sure we cover as much of this water as possible here. See if there's anybody home. Only thing we can do is we can cast upstream. Come on, upstream. And let that fly sink for a couple of seconds. Get it down into the strike zone a little bit more. And then we can strip it out of that. So they'll come up chasing for it here. Water's not the warmest, but I'm gonna have to get out. I can't walk down any further. And I know for a fact, let's see if you fish right up in here. And we're gonna try to target, and we're gonna stand back. Compared to what most people do, they just kind of lob themselves in there. And I'll swing this through there first, and then I'll go back through it with nymphs and an indicator. All right, we've kind of poked through there. Let's repoke through there with something flashy. Putting a couple of split shot on here. All right, so we're gonna tight line this thing through here as much as possible. I'm gonna move down to the tail here. See if there's anything that is in that slower water like we talked about. I'm using a Y2K chartreuse and pink bead fly. Super bright. Just doing the upstream mend to keep that indicator going properly. And what we really want to do is do this. We want to cast above us and let the thing drift towards us. Best hook setting angle there is. Show you guys how to fish a run here. We have a structure right there, rock, and then we have this big flat here, and then we have a waterfall up there. So see, I can punch in hopefully, but see where that rock is right there. And then we have a current coming down here, and then we have a dead spot over there. And I'm literally right in the middle standing on a rock. What I need to do is take my indicator setup, and I need to slice this whole entire area into probably 1 foot cast. So I want to cast over there, 1 foot, move it over 1 foot, cast over 1 foot, move it over 1 foot. I don't want to fish completely in the dead water. You can, but you can strip it back to see if there's fish there that are really active, that don't really care about the drift. But you want to slice all of this in order to cover all bits of pieces of water, especially with fresh stock trout. You don't know if they're going to be in the run. Most of the time they'll be in this dead water or the slower part of the water because they're getting used to being in a river because they've been in like a concrete pen for the most part. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take this and cast as far right, just because I'm right-handed, far up as I can, and I'm going to slowly strip the line back towards me while keeping the tension on the indicator, so if it does go down I can set the hook. So there's one section. I'm going to go a little bit further to the right just because my first cast wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be. And you can fish all the way out to the tail. Keep stripping your line in. I know there's a bunch of grass right in front of me, so I'm going to check my fly as soon as it gets hung up in the grass, which is right there. So they got hung up in the grass. I'm going to check my fly. We're good. Now I can start working my way closer to me. And I'm using a 4-weight. This would be probably a lot better with a 5-weight. And so I didn't perfectly send it where I wanted it to be, but that's okay. You can go back and cast in that direction. Just keep stripping it back towards yourself. And I've caught fish right up my feet doing this. Oh no. And with all the indicators set up, you want to open up your cast quite a bit because you want that thing to like kind of unfurl in front of you. And you want I like my fly to plop first. And if you were going to save time and not completely dissect the whole section of water, thought that was a fish. It's not. It's a snag. So I know where I am in front of me, I can walk. So I'm just going to pop it up above that. If you don't have time to completely dissect, you want to go where the seams are. So the seams are going to be between the fast current and the slow current. And that's where a majority of the fish will be, not right after they're stocked, but shortly after. That's where the food conveyor belt is. Right here I'm casting as little slow, so I'm going to make sure I'm stripping it back, keep my line tight, and make sure I don't get hung up on the bottom. And then I have this odd current in front of me, so see how the bubbles kind of like zigzag? I want to go in any of that right there. There might be fish holding up in any of that weird current seam. But people say foam is home. That's mostly the case, not always. I've seen fish in some weird spots compared to where I think they should be. Especially early in the morning, they could be anywhere. There we go. Not even paying attention. I definitely don't have a hook set on them, but I finally got one. Nice rainbow. There we go, nice rainbow. All right, he literally bent my hook, but there's a pretty rainbow right there. Going back in. Well, time to either head home or head to a different spot. I haven't really decided yet, but I just had another guy pop out of the woods and go to the spot that I wanted to go to. So like, yeah, you have it. I got other places I can be. So we're gonna move on. And if I don't go to another spot, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button. Make sure you comment below. Please, please, please comment below. Otherwise I can't tell if you're watching or not, you know? So comment below and let me know how you like the video. Thanks for watching.